Imagine you have traveled for hours by bus and boat to reach a hidden, pristine dive site in the remote Philippines. The water is crystal clear and the marine life is abundant, but just as you prepare your gear, disaster strikes. Your regulator starts hissing, and you realize there is no dive shop, no technician, and no spare parts store nearby. In this isolated environment, your scuba equipment is not just gear. It is your essential life support system. If you do not know how to maintain it, a simple mechanical failure can end your trip or become a serious danger. Today, I will share the maintenance techniques I have learned while diving in provinces where professional help is unavailable. The Philippines is a world-class destination, but its tropical climate is notoriously harsh on high-precision scuba equipment. Many divers focus only on the beauty of the ocean, but the real damage often happens after you exit the water. Salt crystals, extreme humidity, intense heat, and UV radiation are constant threats that degrade your gear every single day. In many coastal areas, humidity levels stay above 80%, which accelerates metal corrosion and ruins delicate components. O-rings dry out, salt accumulates in moving parts, and regulators can develop hidden issues that only appear underwater. The golden rule for any remote diver is to rinse your equipment thoroughly after every single dive you complete. Many divers make the mistake of a quick, lazy splash, which only spreads salt around instead of removing it. My preferred method is a deep, thorough freshwater soak immediately after returning to the shore or the boat. If you have access to distilled water, use it, as it is the most effective way to dissolve stubborn salt deposits. Pay close attention to the first stage dust cap area, as this is a common place for salt to hide. Do not forget the second stage purge button, which can become sticky and unresponsive if salt crystals are allowed to dry. Hose connections and pressure gauge swivels also require careful rinsing to ensure they remain flexible and functional. The BCD inflator mechanism is another critical point that needs a good soak to prevent it from seizing up. Always rinse the tank valve openings to prevent salt from entering your regulator system during your next setup. Remember that salt takes time to dissolve, so patience is key. Rushing the rinsing process is a common mistake. The smallest component in your entire scuba system is the humble O-ring, yet it is vital for your safety. A single failed O-ring can cause a high-pressure leak that stops your dive before it even begins. Every serious diver should carry a well-stocked kit of spare O-rings, especially when traveling to remote provinces. Inspect your O-rings regularly for signs of wear, such as visible cracks, flattening, or deep cuts in the rubber. Check for sand contamination or salt crystal buildup, as these particles can prevent a proper seal under pressure. If an O-ring feels brittle or shows any sign of degradation, replace it immediately without hesitation. Do not gamble with your safety. A 50-cent part can prevent a leak that ruins a multi-day expedition. Silicone grease is one of the most misunderstood products in the diving world, and it requires careful handling. Many divers mistakenly believe that more grease equals better protection, but this is actually counterproductive. Excessive grease acts like a magnet for sand, dirt, and debris, which can damage your gear over time. The goal is to apply a very thin, almost invisible film of grease to the parts that need it. Always use a type of silicone grease that is specifically compatible with the materials in your scuba equipment. Apply it sparingly, especially on removable O-rings, to ensure they remain supple without attracting unwanted grit. In remote areas, a small tube of silicone grease becomes one of the most valuable items in your kit. Field maintenance on a bamboo deck or a small fishing boat requires a different mindset than a shop. The key to success in these challenging conditions is extreme organization and keeping your workspace clean. Lay out a clean towel on your work surface to provide a safe, protected area for your equipment. Keep all small parts well away from the sand, as even a tiny grain can cause a major malfunction. Always protect your sensitive components from direct, harsh tropical sunlight while you are working on them. Work slowly and methodically, ensuring you have plenty of time to focus on every single detail. Photograph the assembly before you take anything apart so you know exactly how it should go back together. Never force any component. If a part does not move easily, stop immediately and investigate the cause. Field maintenance is about prevention and careful handling, not about improvising dangerous or permanent repairs. My recommended remote diving kit includes spare tank and regulator O-rings to handle the most common failures. Include a small adjustable wrench, a soft toothbrush for cleaning, and a microfiber cloth for drying parts. Bring distilled water, Ziploc bags for organization, and extra dust caps to protect your first stage. A small flashlight is essential for inspecting dark corners of your gear, and a multi-tool is always helpful. Do not forget spare fin straps and a spare mask strap, as these are common failure points on remote trips. These items weigh very little, but they can save your entire diving expedition from an early end. It is just as important to know your limits and recognize when you should not attempt a repair. There is a massive difference between routine maintenance and a full professional regulator overhaul. Field inspections and simple O-ring replacements are usually fine, but leave the heavy lifting to the experts. Never attempt a full regulator overhaul unless you are properly trained, qualified, and have the right tools. When in doubt about the integrity of your gear, do not dive. No underwater sight is worth your life. Remote diving demands a high level of personal responsibility because you are your own primary support team. Your regulator, BCD, and hoses are your connection to the surface, and they deserve your constant respect. A few minutes of diligent care after each dive can prevent major problems from developing over time. This extra effort means more time exploring coral reefs, underwater caves, and the incredible wrecks of the Philippines. Stay safe out there. Keep your gear in top shape, and I will see you on the next adventure underwater.